Hey there, welcome back to Math Magic with Sonia. In part 1 of this video, we had learnt what are squares and square roots. In this session, I will explain the properties of squares. Now we know that multiplying a number by itself gives the square of that number. And there are many interesting things we can observe about the squares, and these interesting things are called the properties of squares. And it is also important if you learn the squares of the first 25 natural numbers, because it helps in doing the calculations faster. Now observe the squares of the first 10 natural numbers. Look at the ending digit or the digit in the units place of these squares. 1 square has 1, 2 square has 4, 3 square has a 9, 4 square has 6, 5 square has a 5, 6 square has a 6 again, 7 square has 9 again, 8 square has a 4 again, 9 square has 1 again, and 10 square has a 0. So what can we observe? We can observe that the ending digit or the digit in units place of the squares of all these numbers is either 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. We can see that none of these squares have the digits 2, 3, 7 and 8 in their units place or as the ending digits. Even if we look at the squares of the numbers 11 to 20, we can see that just as 1 square has the digit 1 as the ending digit, 11 square also has 1 in the units place. 2 square has a 4, 12 square also has a 4 in the units place. 3 square has 9, 13 square also has a 9 in the units place. 4 square has 6, 14 square also has a 6 in the units place, and so on. We can see that the same 6 digits 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9 are repeated in the squares of numbers from 11 to 20 also in the same order. And even if we see beyond 20 also, if we see the squares of numbers from 21 to 30 and so on, or any number, the same 6 digits will be repeated in the same order. And why this is so? This is so because all the numbers have the digits 0 to 9 only in their units place. So the squares also show the same digits as the ending digits. So from this we can say that if a number is ending in the digits 2, 3, 7 and 8, or if a number has 2, 3, 7 and 8 in its units place, it is not a perfect square number for sure. Now for example, if I have the number 1057, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 7, 9, 2, 8, and just by looking at these numbers, if you are asked to say whether these numbers are perfect squares or not, in such cases we look at the digit in the units place or the last digit. In the first number, the last digit is 7, and we know that 7 numbers ending in the digit 7 are not perfect square numbers. So this is not a perfect square. Again in the second case, this number ends in the digit 3 or 3 is in the units place. So numbers ending in 3 also are not perfect squares. So we can say that this number, just by looking at it, is not a perfect square number. The same is the case with this number also, ending in 8, and numbers ending in 8 are not perfect square numbers. So does that mean that all numbers ending in these 6 digits 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9 are perfect square numbers? Well, the answer to this is no. For example, if I have the number 34, 34 lies between the two perfect square numbers 25 and 36. And we know that 25 is 5 square, 36 is 6 square. And wait a minute, 5 and 6 are consecutive natural numbers. That is, there is no natural number between 5 and 6. So we can say that 34 is not a perfect square number. So not every number ending in the digits 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9 will be a perfect square number. But every number ending in the digits 2, 3, 7, 8 will not be a perfect square for sure. Now let us look at the next pattern or property of squares. Now observe the squares of the numbers 1 to 10. If the original number has 1 or 9 in the units place, then the squares of such numbers will always have a 1 in their units place. We can see that 1 square has 1 as the ending digit or the units digit. 9 square is 81, which also has a 1 as its units digit. So I can write this, if original number is 1 or 9, then the squares of such numbers will always have a 1 as their units place. 1 and 81. So both of them have 1 in the units place. Similarly, if we observe the numbers from 11 to 20, the square of 11, again 11 has a 1 in the units place and its square also has a 1 in the units place. And the number 19 has a 9 in the units place, but its square has again 1 in the units place. So I can write 11 square also has 1 in the units place and 19 square also has a 1 in the units place. Original number has 1 or 9, but the square always has a 1 in the units place. So if you are given the numbers such as 123, 67, 45, 39 and 101, and you are asked to identify the squares of which of these numbers would have a 1 in their units place. So just by looking at the last digit, we can say which of the squares will have a 1. We know that if the original number ends in 1 or 9, the squares will have a 1 in the units place. So this number ends in 3, this number ends in 7, its square will not have 1, both of them. This number ends in 5, 39 ends in 9. So square of 39 will have a 1 in the units place. Similarly, 101 ends in 1 and square of 101 will also have a 1 in the units place. So these are the two numbers which will have, the squares will have 1 in their units place. Similarly, if the original number is having 4 or 6 in its units place, its square will always have a 6 in the units place. 4 square is 16, which has a 6 in the units place. 6 square is 36, which again has a 6 in the units place. So if I write this here, 4 square is equal to 16, 6 square is equal to 36. So the original number is 4 and 6, but the square will always have a 6 in the units place. Even if we observe the squares from 11 to 20, again if we see 14 square, over here has a 4 in the units place, but the square has a 6 in the units place. 16 square again has 6 in the units place and the square has a 6 in the units place. So I can write this also here, 14 square is equal to 196 and 16 square is equal to 256. So the original number here is having 4 and 6 in the units place, but the squares will always have a 6 in the units place. And this holds true for any numbers having 4 or 6 in the units place. Their squares will always have a 6 in the units place. For example, if I give you the numbers 54, 32, 76, 83 and ask the squares of which of these will have a 6 in the units place. The squares of which of these. So just by looking at the numbers, we have to see the units place of these numbers. Whichever number has a 4 or 6 in the units place, their squares will have a 6 in the units place. So 54 has a 4 in the units place, 32 has a 2. So 32 square will not have a 6. 76 has a 6 in the units place. So 76 square will also have a 6 in the units place. 83 again there is a 3. So this also will not have a 6. So using the same logic, if the original number has a 3 or 7 in the units place, then the squares of such numbers will always have a 9 in the units place. So over here we can see that 3 square is equal to 9 and 7 square is equal to 49. So both of them have 9 in the units place. Similarly, over here from squares of 11 to 20, we can see that 13 square has 3 in the units place and the square has 9 in the units place. 17 square has 7 in the units place, the number has 7 in the units place, but the square has a 9 in the units place. So I write here 13 square is equal to 169 and 17 square is equal to 289. So if the original number has 3 or 7 in the units place, the squares are having 9 in the units place. The same holds here, original number is having 3 or 7 in the units place, but the squares are having 9 in the units place. And this holds true for any number which has a 3 or 7 in the units place. The squares of such numbers will always have a 9 in their units place. Now for example, if I give you the numbers 41, 23, 117 and ask you to identify the squares of which of these numbers will have a 9 in the units place. So in such cases again we see the units digit of the numbers. If the units digit is 3 or 7, then only the squares will have a 9 in the units place. So over here we can see that 23 has a 3 in the units place and 117 has a 7 in the units place. So the squares of both these numbers will have a 9 in the units place. 41 square will not have a 9 in the units place. Now can you tell me one number other than 1 whose square also ends in the same number? Yes, the answer is 5. We know that 5 square is 25 which ends in 5. Similarly, 15 square also ends in 5. So if I write here 5 square is equal to 25, 15 square is equal to 225. So both of them are ending in 5. The last digit of the square of any number ending in 5 will always be 5. In fact, the last 2 digits of the square of any number ending in 5 will always be 25. So we can see that over here also we have a 25 and over here also in 15 square we have a 25. To explain this we take another example. Suppose we have to find 35 square. Since 35 is ending in 5, so we can say that last 2 digits will be 25. And to find the first 2 digits, we take the number in the tens place, which is 3, multiply it with the next consecutive number, which is 4. So 3 into 4 gives 12. So the answer will be 35 square is equal to 1225. Another example, 45 square. Again 45 is ending in 5, so I can say the last 2 digits are 25 of this square. For the first 2 digits, we see the number in the tens place, which is 4, multiply it with the next consecutive number, which is 5. So 4 into 5 is 20. So I can say that 45 square is 2025. Now let us consider the numbers ending in 0. We will see what happens to the number of zeros when we square such numbers. For example, if I take 10, 10 square is 10 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 100. 20 square is 20 multiplied by 20, which is equal to 400. So if the original number ends in 1 0, the square ends in 2 zeros. Now if I take 100, 100 square is equal to 100 multiplied by 100, which is 10,000. Over here the original number ends in 2 zeros, its square ends in 4 zeros. Similarly, if the original number will end in 3 zeros, its square will end in 6 zeros. So I can say the square of numbers ending in 0 will have twice the number of zeros than in the number itself. So in general, if the original number ends in n zeros, the square will end in 2n zeros. That means an even number of zeros. So the squares of such number always ends in even number of zeros. So I can say if a number ends in odd number of zeros, then it is not a perfect square number. So in the beginning when I said the squares of all numbers ends in the digits 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. When I said this, when I say 0, it means an even number of zeros. If a number ends in odd number of zeros, it is not a perfect square number. So from this I can say that 10,000 is a perfect square number, whereas 1000 is not a perfect square number. Another interesting point about squares is that squares of even numbers are always even and squares of odd numbers are always odd. For example, if I take 14, 14 is an even number and square of 14 is 196, which is an even number. And if I take 17, 17 is an odd number and square of 17 is 289, which is an odd number. Another pattern or property we can observe about squares is that squares can be expressed as a sum of odd numbers. That is, on adding consecutive odd numbers, we get perfect square numbers. Now we all know that the odd numbers are starting from 1, 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. And 1 is the first odd number which itself is a perfect square number. So we can write 1 as 1 square. Now sum of first two consecutive odd numbers, that is 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, which is 2 square. Sum of first three consecutive odd numbers, that is 1 plus 3 plus 5, starting from 1 is equal to 9, which is 3 square. Sum of first four consecutive odd numbers, starting from 1, 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, which is 16, is equal to 4 square. Similarly, sum of first 5 odd numbers, 5 consecutive odd numbers starting from 1 will give 5 square. Sum of first 6 consecutive odd numbers starting from 1 will give 6 square and so on. So in general I can say that sum of first n odd numbers will be equal to n square, and the numbers like 2, 3, 5, 6 and so on, which are not perfect square numbers, cannot be expressed in this form. We know that the perfect square numbers are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and so on. And if we have to find how many natural numbers lie between two consecutive perfect square numbers, for this we can take the two consecutive natural numbers as n and n plus 1. So their squares can be denoted as n square and n plus 1 the whole square. So if I take the two consecutive numbers as 1 and 2, that means n is 1 and n plus 1 will be 2. So 1 square is equal to 1, 2 square is equal to 4. So how many numbers lie between these two perfect squares 1 and 4? We know that between 1 and 4 lies 2 and 3. That is 2 numbers. And what is the difference between 1 and 4? 4 is n plus 1 the whole square, that is 2 square. So between 1 and 4, 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. Next set of consecutive natural numbers, over here n is 2 now, so n plus 1 will be 3. So 2 square is equal to 4, 3 square is equal to 9. So between 4 and 9 how many numbers lie? 5, 6, 7, 8. Total of 4 numbers. And what is the difference? Difference is 9 minus 4, which is equal to 5. Now the next set of natural numbers between 3 square. Now if n is 3, n plus 1 will be 4. So 3 square is equal to 9, 4 square is equal to 16. Between 9 and 16 how many numbers lie? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Total of 6 numbers. And what is the difference? N plus 1 the whole square, n plus 1 is 4 here. And 4 square minus 3 square, that is 16 minus 9, which is equal to 7. Again the next set of numbers. Now n is 4, so n plus 1 will be 5. N square is 4 square, which is 16. N plus 1 the whole square is 5 square, which is 25. So between 16 and 25 we have 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. That is 8 numbers. And what is the difference? N plus 1 is 5 here, between 5 square and 4 square. That is 25 minus 16, which is equal to 9. So we see that the numbers between the two perfect square numbers goes on increasing as the number increases. Between 2 square and 1 square we have 2 numbers, then we have 4, then we have 6, and then we have 8. And the difference is 1 more than the numbers between the two perfect square numbers. If the numbers between 1 square and 2 square are 2, the difference is 3. If the numbers are between 2 square and 3 square is 4, the difference is 5. If the numbers between 16 and 9 and 16 are 6, the difference is 7. If the numbers between 16 and 25, which are two perfect square numbers, is 8, the difference is 9. That is, the difference is 1 more than the numbers between the two perfect square numbers. And also one more thing we can notice, all these numbers can be expressed as a multiple of 2. They are all even numbers. So this can be expressed as 2 into 1, where 1 is the value of n. N is 1 in this case. 4 can be expressed as 2 into 2. Again, 2 is also n in this case. 6 can be expressed as 2 into 3, where n is 3. 8 can be expressed as 2 into 4, where n is 4. So in general, we can say that the number of non-perfect square numbers or natural numbers between square numbers is 2n, and the difference between two consecutive square numbers is 2n plus 1. And I'll explain this with an example. Now, if you are asked to find how many natural numbers lie between the squares of 18 and 19, conventionally the approach is time consuming, because first we will write 18 square is equal to 324 and 19 square is equal to 361 and count the numbers between them, which takes time. But as per the property of squares, we have learnt that there are 2n non-perfect square numbers between the squares of two consecutive numbers. So 18 and 19 are consecutive numbers and can be denoted as n and n plus 1, where n is equal to 18 and n plus 1 is equal to 19. And since we know that there are 2n numbers between squares of 18 and 19, it means 2n is equal to 2 into n is 18, which is equal to 36. And all these numbers are non-perfect square numbers. And the difference between 18 square and 19 square will be 19 square minus 18 square, which is equal to 2n plus 1. 2n we have got as 36. So 36 plus 1, which is equal to 37. Another property is applicable only for the squares of odd numbers. That is, we can express the square of any odd number as a sum of two consecutive natural numbers. For example, if I take the number 3, 3 is an odd number, 3 square is equal to 3 into 3 gives 9. Now to express 9 as a sum of two consecutive natural numbers, we can use the formula. If n is the given odd number, I can get the two consecutive natural numbers using this. N square minus 1 upon 2 will give one number, n square plus 1 upon 2 will give the other number. So in this case n is 3, so 3 square is 9 minus 1 divided by 2 and 9 plus 1 divided by 2. That is 8 divided by 2 will give one number, and 9 plus 1 is 10 divided by 2 gives the other number, which is 4 and 5. So 9 can be expressed as a sum of 4 plus 5. I take another example, 7. 7 square is equal to 49. Now we express 49 as a sum of two consecutive natural numbers. Again we use the same formula, n square minus 1 upon 2 gives one number and n square plus 1 upon 2 gives the other number. N is 7 in this case, so 7 square will be 49. 49 minus 1 divided by 2 gives one number and 49 plus 1 divided by 2 gives the other number. 49 minus 1 is 48 divided by 2 and 49 plus 1 is 50 divided by 2. This gives 2 goes, 2 2s are, 2 4s are, 24, 2 2s are, 2 5s are and 25. So I can express 49 as a sum of 24 plus 25. Another pattern we can observe is the triangular numbers. Triangular numbers are numbers whose dot patterns can be arranged as triangles, and the sum of first n consecutive natural numbers is a triangular number. And I have explained triangular numbers in detail in the part 1 of this video, but still we do a brief recap. So the first triangular number is 1, and the sum of first two consecutive natural numbers, that is 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3, is the second triangular number. Sum of first three consecutive natural numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3, gives the fourth triangular number, which is 6. Then sum of first four consecutive natural numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is equal to 10, gives the fourth triangular number, and so on. And when we add, I can write the triangular numbers here, 1, the next one is 3, then 6 and 10. And when we add consecutive triangular numbers, we get the square numbers. 1 itself is a perfect square. 1 can be written as 1 square. And adding 1 plus 3 gives 4. 4 again is a perfect square number. 4 is 2 square. The next two consecutive triangular numbers, 3 plus 6. Adding 3 plus 6 gives 9. 9 again is a perfect square number, which is 3 square. Adding 6 plus 10 gives 16, which again is a perfect square number, which is 4 square. Another pattern we can observe is, if we add 1 into the product of two consecutive even or two consecutive odd numbers, we get the square of the middle term or the middle number. So if I take two consecutive even numbers, say 6 and 8, and I multiply 6 with 8, I get 48. If I add 1 to this product, that is 48 plus 1, it gives 49, and 49 is 7 square. So if I add 1 to the product of two consecutive even numbers, I get the square of the middle term. Here 7 is the middle term between 6 and 8. Now I take two consecutive odd numbers, say 9 and 11, and if I multiply 9 with 11, I get 99. If I add 1 to this product, that is 99 plus 1, I get 100. 100 is 10 square. So on adding 1 to the product of two consecutive odd numbers, I get the square of the middle term, which is 10. We already know that we can find the square of a number by actually multiplying the number by itself. But is there another way to find the square without actual multiplication? Let us try to find out the square of 23. Normally 23 square will be equal to 23 multiplied by 23. But this can also be written as 23 square is equal to 23 can be expressed as 20 plus 3 multiplied by 20 plus 3. Now by opening the brackets we get 20 multiplied by 20 plus 3 plus 3 multiplied by 20 plus 3. Over here we take the first term of the first bracket multiplied with the second bracket, then second term of the first bracket and multiply again with the second bracket. We are using the distributive property of multiplication over addition, which is equal to 20 into 20 gives 400 plus 20 into 3 gives 60 plus 3 into 20 gives 60 again plus 3 into 3 gives 9, which is equal to 400 plus 60 plus 60 is 120 plus 9, which is equal to 529. This is another way of multiplying and finding the square. I hope you had fun watching this video, and I'll see you with a new topic in the next segment. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.